Good day, YouTubers. Welcome back to my channel. Time for a spot of royalty. So, Kate Middleton has upstaged Meghan by meeting with Dr. Jill. They went to see some rabbits and they fed some rabbits and they just had some really nice, fluffy bunny kind of time. But that's all just subtext. I mean, they were chatting. I'm very interested to see how they got along, because this is a big deal, because obviously Meghan has very big political aspirations. A lot of people believe that she wants to be president, wants to run for president. There's a website that she was testing, Meghan Markle for president, and just to see what public reaction was, if they like laugh and run to the bathroom to throw up, or if they're like, yeah, that sounds great, you're the new Ocasio-Cortez, that sort of thing. So I think Meghan might be quite upset by this. Also, we have the Queen meeting with our elected president. I'm wondering what her impression is. She also met with Mr. T, so she's both met Mr. T and Mr. B. She is very nonpartisan. I want to compare the two. So let's begin with Kate Middleton and Jill Biden. How did it go between them? How was it between Kate Middleton and Jill Biden? Dr. Jill. Kate Middleton. Dr. Jill. Kate Middleton and Dr. Jill. So what's their impression of each other? How did this meeting go? Karmic relationship, two hearts, very, very amicable. Both hearts, very nice. 8, 2 spades. Very nice on the surface. This is what the surface is, but maybe not honestly underneath. On Kate's side, we have Star Bethlehem, creating a future relationship, working with her, and just being very honest and straightforward and a good woman. 10 and 12, 22, 6 diamonds. Kate, for her part, was very honest, very straightforward, very open-handed. She was not playing any funny business. It was a very nice meeting. Jill, Dr. Jill, handcuffs. It's an obligation. It's not a friendly meeting with the royal family, and she wants to hash some things out. 15, 4 clubs. This was for Dr. Jill. This was all business. This is all business. There's no hearts in her spread. The friendliness is on the surface. Kate was legitimately friendly and trying to work with her, and didn't have all kinds of undertones to her conversation. She was being very straightforward. Jill Biden was not being straightforward. It was all business, and it was not about being friendly for Dr. Jill. That's interesting. How about, the Queen has met Mr. T very famously and Mr. B. Let's compare them. Mr. T, Mr. B. What is the Queen's impressions of Mr. T versus Mr. B? Because we have Mr. B stumbling into a cafe. He just wandered off and stumbled into the cafe where there were a whole bunch of journalists, and they started asking him questions, and then a minder came and grabbed him and said, oh, no, you're in the wrong place. And the journalists laughed at him. You could hear them laughing. He called President Putin a killer, and Putin asked, was the death of Ashley Babbitt political assassination? We're going to ask about this. So let's look at Mr. T and Mr. B. Mr. T, Mr. B. What's the Queen's impression? Mr. T. Oh. Mr. B. Oh, devil. Oh, my goodness. Well, anytime the devil shows up in a spread, that's a bad day. So, Mr. B, devil, strength, and the city, the world. 22 2 and 38 diamonds. 2 eights, 2 jacks. Jacks are the new guy. They come and they go. The jack comes and goes. So just he's the world leader for the moment. He's the flavor of the moment. Okay, the queen has been around for more than 70 years. So Mr. B, he's the flavor of the moment. I think she believes he cheated. He cheated to get the job. The devil's a liar. The devil's a cheater. The devil will do anything to accomplish their means. So I think the queen views Mr. B as an illegitimate leader, but he is currently the leader of everything. And this says cheating to me. Cheating, lying, stealing, anything, whatever is necessary. What's on Mr. T's side? This is a heart, closely associated people. She felt he was like on her level, but now he's gone, and she dealt with him for a little while. 3 diamonds, she was happy to deal with him for the time. So I think she had some amicability with Mr. T. She kind of liked him a little bit. I think they liked each other. Mr. T said he was a big fan of the queen. I don't know that the queen came out and said that of Mr. T. What do we have up here? Ruler and 9 hearts. It's very important for the queen and the royalty to meet with these world leaders and to make bonds. So this is 9 and 13, 22, 6 diamonds. So interesting. The queen views Mr. B as the flavor of the month because of jacks, and she views him as someone who is very unprincipled and probably cheated to get his position. That's very disturbing. An illegitimate world leader in such an important position. So we have Mr. B calling Putin a killer. And so in response, Putin said, was Ashley Babbitt a political assassination? Ashley Babbitt was an Air Force officer, and she was at the Capitol riot, okay, where nobody died, and I don't think there were any weapons. And she was murdered by an officer. She was walking somewhere, and she was shot. I think it was like an execution. She was unarmed. She wasn't doing anything, and the officer is not identified, and no charges against the officer, of course. That Putin, who was KGB, which is their CIA, said that smells like a political assassination. Was Ashley Babbitt assassinated? Was this approved by the state? Kill this woman. Was Ashley Babbitt assassinated? We have a connection card to cut everything she's doing. 10, 11, 3 clubs. Actions to cut and a commitment to cut everything. Maybe. Underneath we have finger of God and roses. Outside influence to clean it up. This very ugly, dirty thing. And player and roadblock, stopping this play, putting a stop to what Ashley Babbitt was up to. So I don't know that much about Ashley Babbitt. I suspect that she was kind of leading a resistance against the government. That's why she was there. She was probably one of the organizers, and they decided to take out one of the organizers. So she was making a play. They stopped this. They blocked it in a very ugly way, and they're trying to clean it up, pretend like that's not what they were doing. 10, 21, and 11, 31, 32, 8 spades. Scapegoat. Yeah. So I'm going to say that she was assassinated. We've got the straight razor it just stopped everything. They were committed to stopping everything that Ashley Babbitt was involved in. So Ashley Babbitt was apparently a key figure. She was military, she was an officer, she was quite intelligent and educated, and she was doing something that Mr. B and his administration didn't like. Well, they don't like a whole lot of people. Okay, so she was leading something that they don't like. Kind of like, who's that guy? The WikiLeaks guy who's been in prison now for 12 years, and he's been extradited, and they just can't, they just won't free him. Terrible. Okay, Meghan wants to be, I need to shuffle in front of you. Meghan wants to be invited to the White House to meet with Mr. B. Because she has political aspirations. Will Meghan be invited to the White House during Mr. B's tenure to meet with him? Because, boy, she would love that. That would raise her star. That's exactly... Okay, and we've seen Harry's famous friends with both Mr. B and Dr. Jill, and we've seen them together on film chatting and sitting. He's friends with Mr. Obama, President Obama. He's friends with, he runs in very high circles. And this is what Meghan wants for herself while she oppresses Harry. So will Meghan be invited to the White House during Mr. B's tenure? We have 2 5s. What do we have? Man and fence sitter reacting, direct action, and crossroads. Decisions, 23, 6 clubs. Okay, so it really depends on circumstances. There's absolutely no guarantee, but the relationship is strong. On the surface, the relationship is strong and it's open, and this is a possibility. It's definitely a possibility. It just depends what's going on. I think she's going to have to make herself noticed some more, which shouldn't be hard for Meghan because that's all she does. She's constantly in the news, churning out news so that you will notice her. Snake and Sun and Mother Earth. So we have 2 women. And we have cornerstone and scapegoat cast out of the royal family. Mother Earth, Snake, difficulties exposed in the situation and cast out. I think they've got some more bad times. I think Meghan and Harry have some more bad times coming. And some things are really going to come up for Meghan, and it's going to further be more negatives for her reputation, for her and Harry's reputation. Interesting. 24 plus 12, 36, 37. 10 hearts, water into wine. Something very emotional, something that's really going to capture people's emotions is going to push her further into the bad column. I mean, in the UK, Harry and Meghan as a couple are finished. Okay, in the US, that's not the case. They still have a lot of support here on this side of the pond, but something else is going to happen to make it even worse for Meghan and Harry. Interesting. It's not enough that they've got all those contracts, with Spotify and Netflix, and they're just literally not doing anything. And all the speaking contracts, nothing. We're not hearing anything. So let's review. Did Kate Middleton upstage? How did it go between Kate Middleton and Jill Biden? All business for Jill. Kate was legit friendly. It was very, very friendly. I mean, they're feeding rabbits. How can that be a bad thing? Okay, feeding cute little bunnies. So on the surface, very nice, very friendly, lots of smiles. It's just a photo op feeding cute rabbits. Okay, but what's really going on, it was all business for Dr. Jill. Okay, and for Kate, she was legit friendly. This is just what she does. She deals with world leaders, very professional. Okay, but friendly. Okay, what's the Queen's impression of Mr. T versus Mr. B? Mr. B got the devil. She doesn't, and he's Jax. He's not a king, he's Jax. She sees him as temporary. This is the flavor of the moment for world leaders, and either devil means that she really dislikes him, or she thinks he's illegitimate, or she thinks he's incompetent. Okay, devil is not a good person. The wrong person is in power, strength, devil strength, just an evil leader, okay, of the world. So she doesn't like Mr. B. She does have friendly feelings for Mr. T, although he's gone now, and she was actively working with him. And this is her job. She meets with world leaders. This is very important for her to do, and she's going to do it. Whether she likes the person or not. Was Ashley Babbitt assassinated? I'm going to say yes. Let's ask the sticks on this. Yes, no, yes, no. Was there a political order for Ashley Babbitt to be assassinated? Yes, there was. No, there wasn't. Was it ordered politically? Yeah. That's a clear yes, very clear yes. So Ashley Babbitt was assassinated. Okay, and Putin's KGB people, they would know stuff like this. They would have many sources of information that leaks, and people that work double agents. They're going to get this information, and he was head of the KGB. So yes, she was. That's very disturbing. That should disturb you. To know that she was actually assassinated. Somebody who disagreed with Mr. B and his administration was literally murdered, okay, by the state. Very disturbing. When we get to that point, that's a dictatorship. That's very disturbing. So will Meghan be invited to the White House to meet with Mr. B, which would be a tremendous life goal for her? Yeah, maybe. On the surface, yes, this is a possibility. Underneath, I see some more negative press coming for Meghan and Harry, or Harry and Harry's wife. I see some more negative press. I think Harry should run. Anyway, that's how I see it. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination, Fortune Telling, The Magi Method. Find the book worldwide on Amazon and Kindle and paperback versions. Find the full color card deck used here on Etsy/Magi Method. Many thanks to the generous folks who bought me a cup of tea. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment.